Hey, uh, let's see. How do I figure this out? All right. Hi, everyone. Trying to. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a minute. While we wait, let's see. Okay. So today we're going to be discussing a few things, some animal facts, but most importantly, herons. Herons are fun, and I will be talking about how I filmed the video of a heron catching a pleco, which was actually pretty cool. But this is going to be my first live on Twitch and my second live on YouTube. I am doing a simultaneous live right now, and I am so clueless because I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, okay, am I live? I don't know how this works. Okay, I am live. So, oh shoot, hold on, let's see. Da, 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 da. You gotta give me a minute. Let me try to figure all this out. Shoot. Um, oh, never mind. I think I figured. Okay. All right. Golly. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. All right. This is so weird for me. Anyways, if you're just joining, please say hi because again, I am doing a simultaneous live, and again, I'm going to be talking about some of my documentaries, most importantly, how herons survive in the wild. But because I'm doing a simultaneous live, I'm trying to figure out, you know, how these things work. Okay, all right, let's go. So before we start, let's do a few animal facts, okay? All right, that's gonna be fun. Let's watch a few animal facts, and then we will go into the documentary. It's gonna be a rough start. I cannot promise you a smooth start because again, this is my second time doing YouTube Live and my first time doing Twitch. And with YouTube Live, the last time I did YouTube Live, I did it from YouTube, but this time I am doing a multi-stream. In case you can't tell, it's a multi-stream, so it's a little just kind of work my way around it. I'm still trying to figure out why my screen looks a little dark, but whatever. Let's go. So we're gonna be doing. Hold on 1 second. Some animal facts. Yay! Oi, oi, oi. Okay. All right. Let's start with Canada geese. Those are fun. So we're Canada geese, and The easiest way to tell the difference between a female Canada goose and the male Canada goose. For me, it's always going to be the size because when you look at them, they are very identical looking, right? So it's hard to tell the difference between the female and the male Canada goose. Again, I know the topic of nature and wildlife isn't like super popular, like versus if I was sitting here talking about my personal life, like, oh, hello, everyone. So today I want to discuss how my boyfriend cheated on me, and he cheated on me with 6 girls, and I caught 3 of them, and then I still went back. But, it's been difficult leaving him because he's just so handsome, and I've never seen anyone as handsome. I know that kind of stuff is like, oh my God, what is she saying? What is she doing? And it sells. So, um, what we're trying to do here is a little different. Okay. All right. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. So we're going to watch, first of all, we're going to watch the female Canada geese versus male Canada geese video. This stream is going to be for an hour or about an hour. So bear with me while I navigate this. Okay. Okay. All right. We're getting the hang of this. We're getting the hang of this. Okay. All right. So if you're just tuning in, feel free to say hi in the comments. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Lordy. It's harder than I thought. Once I get the hang of it, it won't be too hard. I'm just, I'm going to watch it with you. So we're going to, first of all, there we go. And somebody loves me. Okay. All right. So we're starting with female Canada goose versus male Canada goose animal facts. That's what we're starting with. If you're just joining us, welcome. Feel free to join a comment below. We're going to have a Q&A later on. This documentary, this stream is going to show how I filmed the documentary, how herons survive in the wild, and how I was able to capture that shot of a great blue heron and Pleco. Incredible shot. Even for me, it was an incredible shot. I'm gonna flip my hat up a little bit so you can see my face. Okay, so if you're just joining us again, say hello. Let's see. I need to figure out how this chat works. And I am streaming on YouTube and Twitch, so this is a multi-platform stream. But let's first of all watch this video. Let's go. How can you tell the difference between a male and female Canada? If you're watching and you cannot unlike hear other birds, like a duck, for instance, or maybe a finch, or maybe a kingfisher, it is really easy to tell the males apart because they're not hear the sound. Just kind of drop a comment. When you see a pair of birds and you see the colorful, you know that's the male. Then you see the kind of subtle one, then you know that's the female. And that's because males have to put in a lot of work to attract the female, and that includes their plumage. And if you notice with like certain birds during breeding season, they'll like change their plumage to be much brighter, like much fancier. I call it their Lamborghini. I'm like, these birds have their little Lamborghinis, and they bring out the Honda when it's not mating season, and when it's mating season, they bring out the Lamborghinis. But Canada geese, they're different. They don't have any fancy plumage. I mean, they look beautiful on their own. Like their plumage is just gorgeous, but there's nothing fancy setting the male from the female. So when you see them, how do you tell the difference? How you tell the difference is, number one, by their size. The male Canada goose is usually bigger than the female Canada goose, and it's visible. You can tell. The female is usually smaller than the male. All right, before we continue, if this is your first time watching any of my videos, comment first in the comments below. All right. before we continue, so like I said earlier, for me personally, the way I'm able to tell the female from the male is just by their size. If there is no if they're and they're usually, well, you'll hear in the next in the video as we go along, they form bonded pairs, so it's kind of easy to tell. But then sometimes oh gosh, that's a big old cat right there. I'm easily distracted, by the way, so if you see me like kind of looking into my yard, that's what it is. I have like a fig tree, so sometimes you'll see cats, squirrels, birds, and things, and that's a cat probably trying to either walk by or try to get the squirrel. So yes, like I was saying earlier, for me, the first thing I look at is the size, because the male and the female, they look identical in my opinion. If somebody else has an alternate opinion, please feel free to share. Okay. And if you're just joining us, don't forget to say hi. All right. So let's continue the video. Okay. And then once we're done with this one, we're going to move on to the Heron documentary, and then some question and answers. Like if you have any questions for me, I will give you a backstory on how I shot the Heron documentary. So if you have any questions for me, don't be shy. It's just we're not at a lot yet. I'm gonna try and do these streams as often as possible. If I can do almost daily, I will. I'm thinking about doing like a 12-hour stream where, I go for 12 hours, just you're gonna see me eat breakfast and things like that. But most importantly, I also will be streaming some of my nature walks, some of my nature adventures. I will be heading to Nevada very soon. So on the 24th, I will be at the Mandalay Bay visiting the aquarium. So if you want to see that, that should be fun. But yes, and then whale watching. We're gonna go whale watching together. I think you're gonna enjoy that. Some of my nature walks, those are fun. Nature hikes, mostly aquariums, nature hikes. I wish I had started streaming because I just came back from a recent trip to Nigeria, and that was pretty cool. And I wish I had started streaming then. I was not streaming then. Again, this is my first stream on Twitch, hi, and my second stream on YouTube, and I'm multi-streaming right now. So let me not talk too much. So let's continue the video. Okay. Oh, and welcome. If this is not your first time watching any of my videos, then you know it's time for the word of the day. We are taking Yoruba lessons here, if you like it or not. Oh. Welcome to. And the word of the day is Eshe. Thank you. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for always watching. And thank you for just being here. So the word of the day is thank you. Comment the word of the day below. Another way you can tell them apart, but this one is a little bit harder because when they do honk, they're usually honking. Like a lot of them are just honking. Honk, 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 honk. So it's not like just one of them is honking. Sometimes you will get it when one of them is just honking, but most of the time they're just all honking together, right? Once one starts, the other starts, and it's like a big old honk fest. Anyways, another way to tell is their honk. The male honk is a little bit louder, and the female honk is kind of like my voice, a little, this kind of pitch, like squeaky, honk, honk versus honk, honk. Get it? So yeah, the male would have a honk, and then the female have a honk, honk, Anyways, you get the idea. So that's another way to tell them apart. Another way to tell them apart is pay attention to their behavior. The male Canada goose is more aggressive than the female, especially during mating season. They're very protective. Like you'll see the female, like if you come near them, you'll see the female kind of just minding the kids and just not really, worried about you. But that's because there's a male somewhere ready to pluck your eyes out. And like you see the male will come after. The ones in my area are not as aggressive anymore. They used to be a few years ago, but I've noticed that they're not as aggressive. I think it's because they're, they see people all the time and they're kind of getting used to people. But generally speaking, I still wouldn't try them. I still wouldn't try coming near their kids. I still wouldn't try, doing something foolish, right? Because anything could happen. And besides, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to keep them safe. So the males are usually more aggressive. They're more protective. They're protectors. They will protect their family. And that means being more aggressive towards you. So when you see a Canada goose starting to fight or chasing people away or chasing other Canada goose away, it's most likely a male. So those are some ways that you could tell a female Canada goose from a male Canada goose. Again, a lot of it is by observation. It can still be hard to tell because what if it's a juvenile? What if it's a small size? What if it hasn't had lunch and they're just small because it's underfed? You don't know. It can be a little confusing, but generally speaking, it's easy to tell when you see a male and female because they're monogamous in nature. They do form bonded pairs. So technically, you will see a pair of them together sometimes. So you could tell, okay, that's the male because it's bigger, and that's the female, it's smaller. So that's another good way to tell. But if you're, trying to go guessing in the whole flock, it might actually be a fun activity. Try it out. Anyways, before you go, if you would like to support me again,
all right. So you've seen some of the differences between a male Canada goose and a female Canada goose. So I kind of wanted to do, little wildlife facts at the beginning. If you're just joining us, hello, welcome. Do not forget to, drop a comment in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking because I do want to have a little Q&A because I do get questions, about the process. So, and I will be doing more lives. If this is my first time doing live on Twitch and my second time doing live on YouTube. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope I'm not too boring. If I get too boring, then I'm going to start telling stories about how my boyfriend cheated on me with 10 girls and I caught 3 of them. And when I caught 3 of them, I forgave him. And he did it again with 10 more girls and I caught 4 of them and I forgave him again. This never happened. I'm gonna have to start doing that. We don't want that. All right, so backstory. Herons are incredible birds. I don't know if you have any herons in your area, but they are incredible birds. If you don't know what a heron looks like, you know what? Let me try and find it for you. Okay, actually, you know what? The thumbnail of this video is a heron. So I'm going to just, I'm going to add this to the stage. This is what a heron looks like. That is a great blue heron. Okay. And the herons, there are different types of herons. There's the great blue heron, there's the green heron, there's the snowy egret, there's the great egret. So there are different types of heron across different countries and different regions. In America or in California, we mainly have the great blue heron, the snowy egret, the great egret, and those types of herons. So I have the opportunity to film them a lot. And one thing they do all day is hunt. Okay. And I have been able to observe and study them for quite some time to know how they hunt. But even if you film wildlife, one thing you will know or learn while filming wildlife is that wildlife is quite unpredictable. And you just never know what's going to happen. You might show up with the intention of filming, let's say, a great blue heron catching fish. Maybe it did it yesterday and you were able to film that. But today, just nothing's happening. The fishes are not showing up. So that happens too. But anyways, so for this particular documentary, I will show you the full documentary. Let's watch the full documentary together. I think that'll be fun. It's called The Art of the Hunt. And it just kind of talks about herons and how they hunt. And different birds hunt with different styles. I'm not sure if you've seen that little viral video that has been going around with the green heron using bread to fish. So the green heron sits by the water side and takes a piece of bread and throws it into the water. And when the fish comes to grab the bread, the heron takes the fish. They're really intelligent animals. So that's what a heron looks like. Let's go back to me here. They're really intelligent animals. They're super smart. Man, they're one of my favorites. Actually, if you can guess in the comments what my favorite. Hi, Judy. I know I love Canada geese too. Yes, they're absolutely. I know a lot of people think they're annoying because they're like they honk a lot, and if you live near them, actually, you know what? Let me take that back. If you live near a bunch of Canada geese, you might not like them because they do honk a lot and they are really noisy. But great blue herons are also the best. So yay heron, yay heron, and yay Judy. So yeah, like I was saying, each heron has its own hunting style. And you know, when people look at birds, you think, oh, birds just do one thing. No, they absolutely don't. They develop their own style as time goes along. And it's so incredible to me because you would think birds are just birds, but they're so smart. Like the same way humans figure out how to make money and feed themselves is how herons or birds just figure out what works for their dynamics, what works for their environment. So like I was saying, the heron that took the bread and threw it in the water. If you haven't seen that clip, maybe I'll look for it while we're watching this video. I'll try and see if I can find it. Throws the bread in the water and fishes with it. Like, how the heck? Like, seriously, like, you're a little bird. How did you think of that? You know, that just shows you how incredible these birds are. So yes, one of the clips you will see in this documentary is of a great blue heron hunting and catching a pleco. So let me give you a little background story. Plecos are not native to those waters. So how do they get there? I did a video on that too. We won't watch that today. We'll probably watch that on one of my other streams. The plecos got there because plecos are aquarium fish, right? For the most part. And a lot of people will go and buy plecos because they are suckermouth catfish and they think that they eat all the algae on the fish tank. And then they realize, oh my gosh, this fish is really messy, number one. And number two, this fish is going to get bigger than my tank. So what they end up doing is taking the poor fish and throwing them in lakes. Yes, they are so premeditated and calculated. Like, really, they are. We'll see the documentary. You'll just see how incredibly smart they are. Like, they figure out all these little nuances to how they eat their food, including the pleco. And the pleco is like super hard to eat, right? So, the plecos end up in the lake because people throw them there. And then they get really big, they're invasive, they just kind of mess up the dynamics of the lake. But guess what? Herons will still hunt them. And because we know herons, they eat their meal whole. They don't chew, obviously, they have no teeth. They swallow their food whole, so they will catch a pleco. But because the pleco has armor, like really, I don't want to call them skills. They're like they're armor. Like it's an armor on the pleco's body where if you try to swallow it, it's just super hard, and it just kind of like grazes your throat. The heron does not care, especially great blue herons. I've seen cormorants do this too, where they take plecos and they'll eat them whole. But cormorants will go for the smaller ones. A heron does not care. A heron hunts a big, big pleco and just keep going until like they swallow it. So herons, you know what? That's a good question. Some herons do mate for life. Not all herons mate for life. I think I did a little short on some of the ones that do mate for life. I have to double check so I don't give you wrong information. But yes, some herons do mate for life. I think the great blue heron does, but not all herons mate for life. But yeah, so the ones I'm for sure mate for life are birds like owls and obviously Canada geese mate for life. Those birds definitely mate for life, but not all herons mate for life. So is it just seasonal? Nope. I know, right? I have a video of my absolute favorite who they do mate for life are ravens. Ravens do mate for life, and I have a video of them like kissing. Ravens are like if you're like bird romance, ravens are the best. They're so affectionate. Like they're like so lovey. Like I'm a raven. Like I feel like I'm a raven in my romance life because ravens are so super clingy and super affectionate with each other. It's like so hilarious and it's so cute. But yeah, so I think, oh no, why? Crows are awesome too. Why do you hate crows? I think crows are awesome. So I feel like crows and ravens have some very similar personalities. I feel like, I mean, besides the fact that you can probably befriend a raven before you befriend a crow, I still feel like they're very similar in, like dynamics in the way they behave. But yeah, definitely ravens are. I mean, I prefer ravens, but I don't hate crows. I like crows. I like both of them, but I still prefer ravens because I think they're so cool and I call them like, fancier. They're fancier crows and they're so super smart and just so super awesome. And I get to observe them. Maybe one of my lives, I will go observe some crows. It's just harder with the smaller camera because I'm gonna show you the cameras that I use. The lens, I use this lens to observe crows. So it's much, it extends, really far and it's easier to, see the animals up close through that lens. And really, they do? Huh, interesting. I need to look that up because I mean, it's just like how people say owls have like, dark energy. I don't think they do. Or owls turn to humans. I don't think they do. And I have a video that I did recently. I think it was a short about this church that had caught this owl. And they were like, oh, this demon is here. And this demon came to, and I was just like, it's just an owl. And poor owl they killed the owl. And again, animals, not all animals will be your thing, that's fair enough. So if you have an animal that's not your thing, I would just kind of avoid them, always listen to your gut. Really? Oh my god, no. Owls are, well, for me, owls are awesome, but again, just pay attention to your energy. There's some owls that don't match your, I mean, there's some animals that might not match your energy. Just never know. Like for me, I like owls, I like crows, I like ravens, I like all of them actually. Do you know what I don't like are wild dogs? Oh, I love hawks. Yeah, hawks are awesome. Hawks are definitely awesome. I love any kind of hawk really. Red shoulder, I just love all kinds of hawk. But you know what I really really like? I like ospreys. I used to like literally stalk this osprey. I live in California, so I used to stalk this osprey in Malibu. He would sit there on a little pole by this little the lagoon walkway, and I would just sit there and film it all day. And I would hope it would catch fish, and I never got it to. Oh, I actually did almost film it catching fish, but that day there was an earthquake and it flew over my head with the fish. And I didn't know because I was just like, why is it panicking? I didn't know it was an earthquake because I was on the sand. And when I got back to where there wasn't sand, somebody had said, oh my God, there was an earthquake. Didn't you feel it? And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense why the osprey freaked out. So that was my opportunity to catch, film a video of the osprey with fish. And just never happened. Swallows are cool too. I absolutely. Oh yeah, and killdeer. I think I have a lot of footage of killdeer. We have a local river. I don't want to call it. It is a river. It's considered a river, but it is like a little channel that they created for water to flow through, but they call it the LA River. And when you go there, a lot of birds do come there to feed. And we've been getting a lot of killdeer for some reason. I didn't used to see them. I used to see the killdeer at Malibu Beach, but now when you go there, maybe I'll do a live there too. I plan on doing some outdoor lives. It's just been super hot outside, so I've just kind of like been like, if I was gonna do the outdoor live, it has to be very early in the morning, like maybe 6 or 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for it to work. The difference. Ospreys are very, you know what? I'm going to find a video of an osprey for you because I have done ospreys. They're very, 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 hold on one second. Just give me a second. I will find the osprey now. Because they're pretty distinct. Yeah, one second. Ospreys, where are you? I'm pretty sure I have osprey. Yeah. Okay. So this is I'm going to play this for you guys. Hold on one second. Ta-ta. 1 second. All right. Give me a second. Where are you? All right. Ta-da-ta.
Chilling and
Okay.
watching like the ones I have filmed. In its lifetime, an osprey can migrate, guess what, over 150,000 miles. That is a lot of freaking flyer
That's
miles
an
right
osprey.
there.
They're pretty
150
distinct in how
first
they
class
look.
upgrade. The oldest known osprey lived for over 25 years. How do we know this? Because it was banded and the band was tracked. So it probably lived longer than 25 years. This was at the point where they tracked it, right? Yeah, so those are some cool facts about the osprey. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like and share. Bye.
All right. So that was my osprey. That was like part two. I did 2 parts of the osprey facts. That was part 1 and part 2. But yeah, ospreys look very distinct. Like they have you can't miss them. Like, like let's say for instance, red-shouldered hawk kind of looks similar to like, other types of hawks that look like that. But ospreys are like really, really distinct. You know what? I really, really, really peregrine falcon. When you're talking about falcons, oh my goodness. I have been on there was one maybe an hour from here that somebody had seen and had been living there, but I've just never had a chance to see it. And then not too far from here too, where I usually go film some birds, there was one that was there too, but then I was out of town. And they don't stay too long. That's another thing. Like sometimes if they're in a certain area, they might not stay too long. So I missed that. I missed that as well. But where were we in our heron surviving the wild? Let's see. Hold on. We're gonna watch the documentary about how herons survive in the wild. Give me a second. So again, backstory. This is about herons. Yeah, they do look different up close. Even in the sky, like actually, you know what? You're right. Because if they're way high up in the sky, I can tell the difference in the sky, funny enough. Like when they're way high up in the sky, I can tell when it's an osprey because they're more like a lightish brown with dark tints and like full white. Herons, I feel like they eat every day. I feel like they eat like when I go, let's say I spend like 8 hours observing herons, in the space of the 8 hours that I was there, one heron can hunt like half the time, in my opinion. That's how I feel. I feel like they're always eating. Like I've seen like within the space of an hour, a heron will eat like maybe 4 or 5 fish in the space of an hour. And I'm like, how, where, And I filmed a situation where there was a great I think it was a great egret hunting, and it had caught a big rat or a mice. Actually, it wasn't a rat, it was a mice. It had caught a mice, and right when it finished eating that mice, it was hunting again. So yeah, so they I don't think they get full, like they just eat. Like I don't even think I've seen them like I don't think I've ever seen them sleep. I've seen them in their nests, but I've never seen them just kind of like, how you see ducks will just sit there and sleep, or other birds, you see them doze off and sleep. Even hummingbirds that are always, active. I've seen hummingbirds just chill and sleep, but I have never observed herons just doing nothing and sleeping. Like I see herons and they're always on the move, always doing something. I know. Yeah, so the backstory of this documentary, which we'll watch, it's about 11 minutes. So again, bear with me. We're gonna watch it together. Thank you. I know I love birds. Absolutely. You know what I want to do though? I really want to go to Costa Rica to go bird watching. I have not had the chance to do that. I have some friends that have done it and I get so jealous. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. And they show like the clips and the videos. I probably just go crazy like ah. But yeah, so yeah, the documentary is about 11 minutes. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat and I will answer it within the chat. And just watch it and we'll talk about how I was able to film the documentary, and just whatever questions you have about the documentary, let me know. Okay. All right. I am going to take myself out of the screen so you can see a full screen, or maybe I'll leave myself in the screen. Let's watch it together. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Is that a dinosaur? This is what you might think when you spot a heron. With 74 recognized species, yes, that includes egrets and bitterns, these birds are the ultimate foodie, each with its own unique hunting style. Great blue herons are the Zen masters, patiently waiting for the perfect catch. Snowy egrets, they are the agile tap dancers of the water, quick and clever. Green herons and least bitterns balance the best of both worlds, blending sneakiness with speed. And let's not forget the black-crowned night herons, who have mastered the art of patience in the shadows. But what's on the menu? From fish and small insects, and for some herons, just about anything they can fit in their bills, these herons are ready to feast. Get ready to dive into the fascinating world of heron hunting styles and discover what makes each species
Chewy has savory favorites, a gravy masterpiece, delicious options from Fancy Feast.
a unique player in the ecosystem.
In Southern California, the herons you're most likely to find are the great blue heron, the great egret, the snowy egret, the least bitten, the black-crowned night heron, the yellow-crowned night heron, and the green heron.
The great blue heron is like something straight out of Jurassic Park. Imagine a pterodactyl flying overhead. It has an impressive wingspan of up to 6 feet. But this bird isn't just cool to look at, it is a master hunter. It is also a vicious hunter who has no problem incapacitating its prey, although it is more likely to eat them alive. It stands by the water's edge, ready to kick off a full day of hunting. Patient and still, it's a master of the waiting game, eyes locked on the surface, searching for its next meal. Suddenly, something catches its attention. Its long, dagger-like bill piercing the surface in a swift, graceful motion. It's a plecostomus fish armored with hard bone plates that cover its back. But this bird is not phased. With fierce determination, the heron incapacitates the fish, its beak working quickly to weaken its struggle. The plecostomus thrashes, but the heron holds firm, applying just the right pressure until finally it goes still. Now, the heron is ready for the next step. In the world of hunting, once the great blue heron has its prey, the chances of escape are almost non-existent. With one final calculated move, the heron swallows the plecostomus fish, victorious and fueled for whatever comes next. It's just another day in the life of a great blue heron,
where patience meets precision and survival is the ultimate game. Meters away, a great egret stands poised and silent, its elegant figure framed against the marshy backdrop. It is patiently waiting for its morning catch, embodying a vibe of calm confidence. Meanwhile, miles away, another great egret was doing the same, both hidden among the reeds with one goal in mind: filling their hungry bellies. After what feels like an eternity, the first egret finally spots its target. In a heartbeat, it moves into action, catching a mouse that had unknowingly wandered too close. Ignoring the sheer look of terror in the little creature's eyes, the egret quickly repositions its meal, ensuring it wouldn't drop its prize. With a swift tilt of its head, it swallowed the mouse whole, a seamless move that spoke of its hunting finesse. Across the marsh, the second egret has its own success: a lizard, caught in the blink of an eye. The poor creature didn't stand a chance as the egret executed the same flawless maneuver. One moment, it was on the ground, and the next, it was gone, swallowed whole in one smooth motion. In the world of the great egret, patience pays off, and every successful hunt is just another step towards a full belly.
Even if it's a fish, mouse, insect, lizard, or even other birds, the heron's digestive system is ready for food that is still very much alive.
A short drive away, the Los Angeles River is once again buzzing with life as a squad of snowy egrets gather, ready to dive into a day of high stakes fishing. With their striking white feathers and sharp, watchful eyes, they embody grace and precision. These active hunters begin their day ready to patrol the shallow waters. Unlike their larger cousins, the great blue heron and great egret, the snowy egrets are always on the move. They walk through the water, their long legs stirring up fish and invertebrates hidden beneath the surface. Each calculated step seems like a dance of determination. With quick, agile strikes, their sharp beaks snap shut, capturing their meal in an instant. In that same instant, it is devoured whole. Throughout the day, the mesmerizing display continues as they feast on small fish. Though they often hunt together, their territorial instincts flares up at times, leading to brief skirmishes over choice feeding spots. With each successful catch, the snowy egrets show just how exciting and relentless life on the river could be, turning their quest for food into a captivating spectacle of nature.
As a researcher, your dedication fuels the rhythm of discovery.
As we explore the different hunting styles of herons, it is important to know that all egrets are herons, but not all herons are egrets.
It's a new day by the river. A green heron makes its way across the water, its vibrant plumage contrasting against the lush green surroundings. It watches the shimmering water below, waiting patiently for a flicker of movement. Green herons are skilled hunters known for their clever techniques. With a flick of its head, it spotted a small fish gliding near the surface. In a flash, the heron swoops down, striking with precision, catching its meal in one swift motion. And just as fast as it is caught, the fish is swallowed whole. Meanwhile, hidden among the reeds, a least bitten stands perfectly still. Its brown and tan feathers blended seamlessly with the tall grass, making it nearly invisible. With keen eyes, it scans the water for any signs of movement. As a fish swims into view, the bittern lunges, capturing its meal with effortless grace. Both birds showcase their unique hunting styles, each finding sustenance in their serene world where the art of survival thrives. At a protected wetland in urban Los Angeles, a black-crowned night heron stands poised at the water's edge, its dark silhouette sharp against the shimmering surface. Although it is uncommon to find them hunting during the day, this heron, with its keen eyes, scans the waters, waiting patiently for the perfect moment. Suddenly, it spots a small fish darting just below the surface. In a flash, the heron makes its move, its sharp beak slicing through the water, but it misses. It will repeat this activity until it successfully feeds to its content. Not far away, a yellow-crowned night heron looks to do the same. These herons, in their own unique way, seek to achieve the same goal: survival.
Herons are fascinating birds. I have argued often that they are like modern day dinosaurs. I mean, look at them. Their world is so exciting, and I enjoy observing them. Join me next time as I continue to observe the amazing world of nature and wildlife.
All right. So you hold on one second. Okay. All right. So as you can see, each heron has its own style. It has its own style of hunting. Oh, and back to the question where you asked earlier, Judy, about monogamy. So great blue herons apparently are seasonally monogamous. I think I need to do a video on that, because I do the animal facts videos, and I will do which ones are not monogamous and which ones are seasonally monogamous. And great blue herons happen to be one that's seasonally monogamous. So thank you. Usually no, they're not. So from observation, they're usually not solitary. They do move around in groups. They do sometimes, but you know what? Great blue herons, I feel, are more solitary. Snowy egrets are not. Because from my observation, snowy egrets, I'll see them in groups. I'll see them, a bunch of them at the same time, hunting together. But great blue herons, maybe you see one at a time, or maybe you see two. And same thing with great egrets. I feel like the bigger herons are more solitary than the smaller herons. I feel like the smaller ones are more like, numbers count. So they tend to hunt together. Because I was shooting a documentary about the ibis. And while I was shooting the documentary about the ibis, there were a bunch of snowy egrets in the same general area. Yeah, they're usually alone, especially when they hunt. The only time I've ever seen great blue herons as a pair is when they're nesting, like when they're in the actual nesting. But I've never actually seen two great blue herons together. And even when they do hunt,
in the same general region, you'll see like maybe one here and maybe another, 500 feet away, but they're never in the same general area hunting. And that kind of makes sense too, right? Like, I know, right? Oh yeah, they do that all the time. I've seen little tiny birds attack crows and hawks, and the reason they do that is because hawks are predators, ravens and crows are predators. I have seen a raven or a crow. I can't remember which one it was because it flew by really quickly, but it was one of those two. Snatch a baby squirrel. So they do snatch babies all the time. They will snatch small birds. So when a small bird sees a raven or crow, and especially if they have a nest nearby, they will start like attacking, like jumping on the head, like go away, go away. Because unfortunately these birds will eat other birds. Same way herons, great blue herons will eat ducks. I find that very interesting. Like, why are you eating other birds? That's just so weird. But I've seen video of, I personally haven't filmed video of herons eating other birds, like a great blue heron eating a duck. I've seen them in the same region and they kind of just, live in harmony. But it would be interesting, like, why are you eating another bird? That's just weird. What happened to all the fish? So maybe when there's no fish, maybe that's why they do that. But herons literally will eat anything. Like they'll eat humans if they could. Oh yeah, I've seen that. I find that very strange, but I've seen it. I've seen video of it was a great blue heron. Great blue herons, I'm like, those ones for sure eat anything. I've seen a great blue heron eating a baby duck, and it was brutal to watch. Like I film wildlife and I've seen all kinds of things being eaten, but that was actually pretty brutal to watch. Like, oh my god, like that is so sad. But great blue herons will eat rats, as you see in the video. They eat lizards, they eat grasshoppers, they eat dragonflies. I've seen them eat dragonflies. They eat, gosh, I don't know what they don't eat. I feel like they eat anything that moves that can fit in their mouth, including other birds. So speaking to the smaller birds that we'll see, like a hawk, like, a red-tailed hawk, we get a lot of red-tailed hawks here. And I've seen situations where the smaller birds will start attacking the red-tailed hawk because, again, they're predators and they don't want them around, and you're like, you little bird. And the funniest thing about it is when you see that play out, you kind of just see the hawk do nothing or the raven do nothing. They just sit there and they're getting bullied by this little tiny bird. And you're wondering, like, why are you allowing yourself to get bullied? But again, it's like, what are you going to do? Like, I don't have time for you. I'm here for a different reason. But as a small bird, you want to protect your surrounding. You want to protect your general area. You want to protect. And if you have babies somewhere, you definitely want to protect them. You don't want a situation. Yes, I have seen eagles, but I have to drive there. So I did film a little eagle love story. It was so cute. They were nesting. They just had babies. This was about 2 years ago, actually. It's been 2 years. January 2 years ago, I had driven up to the mountains, the San Gabriel Mountains, where they had these two bald eagles, and they just had babies. Let me see if I can find it. I'm going to see if I can find it for you. But they had just had babies and it was so cute. And we went up there and we were filming them. They're pretty far, like with the eagles, they will nest, but they will nest pretty far from where people can, which is great. Where people can, hold on, let me see if I can find, I know I did the sound of the eagle, but I think I also did, oh, you know what? Yeah, it's a little short. I'll still play it. It's a little short. But let's see. 1 second. I'm gonna find it. Ba, 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 ba. All right, 1 second. But yeah, all right. Oh, Ricci. This was in San Gabriel Valley. This is, I know, but it was so cool because one of the eagles had left the nest, and then I think it was another eagle, a smaller eagle, started circling the nest. Obviously, they had eggs; the babies had not hatched yet, and they were circling the it was circling the general area where the babies were, and it just started gawking like help, help, help. And then the other eagle came back later. I'm like, where did you go? Like your wife was screaming for you. But then it came back later, and it was pretty interesting. But let me go ahead and play the video for you to see. Give me 1 second. It's a little short video. All right. Let me mute myself.
No, it's an eagle, but it's a young one. Yeah, it's a young eagle. That's the one.
It's calling for the other one.
Yeah, the other one, the young.
It's gone. And this one?
The juvenile or this is the old one. This is the male.
This is too close. Okay, it's on that perch. Okay, sorry, I was muted. They were tending to their nest, and I think another eagle had flown right above the nest, and the female had panicked, and that was that. So that was pretty interesting. And we observed them. We got there really early. We got there like 5 a.m. And you know, they didn't do any hunting. They just did a lot of stick collecting. They were just collecting stick, and what they do, like when they're breeding or on breeding season or where they're tending to babies, is they just fix their nest constantly. Like it was, I think we were there from like 5 a.m. to maybe around like maybe 4 p.m. or something in the evening. It was starting to get dark when we left. And what they did was just, you know, collect sticks and collect sticks and collect sticks and collect sticks. And fix the nest, fix the nest, fix the nest. I'm gonna see if I have a longer video. Maybe just I'll see if I have I think I did film a longer video. I'm not sure. Maybe I shared it on my TikTok or somewhere of the eagle, and I called it an eagle love story. You know, let's see if I can find it. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Da da da. Shoot. Let me go back. But yeah, filming wildlife is pretty interesting. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem with trying to share stuff. You could start seeing all kinds of weird stuff. Like if you don't have it already. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. Let me just go to my profile already. Okay. Let's see if I can find my. Oh, yay. It's been a while. You know what? Let's see. Oh, a yellow finch. Oh, really? Oh gosh. We get a lot of finches in our yard, like a lot. There was one time I was out in I think it was Malibu too. And I'll trying to see if I can find a video. The finch, I don't know what happened to it. It wasn't flying. It wasn't flying, and we were just kind of like what happened to you? And we're first of all trying to identify what kind of bird it was. And then eventually we did identify the bird, and it was just not flying. And we tried putting it in a tree, but then we tried calling some wildlife, people in the area to see if they could help. And some guy ended up taking it, that he was gonna, kind of find help for the bird. So yeah, I love finches, but we just have regular house finches in my yard. So let's see if I can find this video. Excuse me while I scroll through all my little scroll through this. Oh, shoot. Oh, wait. Is this it? Is this it?
Enjoy a 60 seconds.
Oh, it was. It is it. I don't know how to make this bigger. Oh, shit. Oh, wait. How do I make this bigger? Golly.
Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand.
Hold on.
In other words, baby.
Okay, I need to figure out how to make that work. All right, 1 second. Not floating player. Huh. Okay, well, you know what? We're just gonna watch it with. Hello. We're just gonna watch it with the comments on the side. Doesn't matter.
Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
But yeah, so
hold my
yeah, hold on. I wish there was a way to. Oh, here we go. All right. Okay. So there we go. So I'm just gonna tell you what's happening in this video. That was the male and the female. That's their little nest, as you can see, and that's what they do. They just tend to their nest all day, and he'll go bring twigs, and she'll come bring twigs, and that was just pretty much all they did all day. And it was so interesting. Eagles are one of the birds I would absolutely love to see more of, absolutely love to see more of. But again, we don't have too many of them here. And I was supposed to drive up to Washington with some friends to go see eagles, but that never happened. But you have to go there because it's seasonal. You have to go during the season. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. All right, so I think it's been an hour. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna do this again. I'm going to stream on Saturday. I am not sure if I will be doing an outdoor stream or an indoor stream, but I will be streaming on Saturday. What's today? I think I will stream maybe Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure, but around the same time. And we will be watching another documentary of mine. If you have not followed me yet, go ahead and follow me on Twitch. Go ahead, and you too, Judy. Thank you please come back. I really enjoyed our chat. Don't forget to come back. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like, and don't forget to watch some of the documentaries. If there's anything you would like to see more of, just let me know. I'm very, very responsive in my comments, in my chat. And I have this little YouTube community that I'm trying to build. I have little questionnaires on there. You can always drop a comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, hi. If you're watching this on Twitch, hi. I will be doing this again either Thursday or Friday today is Tuesday. Yes. Tomorrow I will not be available. So I will be doing this again Thursday, Friday. And then I'm planning to do like a 12-hour stream. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I have no clue how I'm going to do that, but a 12-hour stream, it's going to be crazy. Like I plan on doing, I'm going to see if I can do it. Wish me luck. I will do the 12-hour stream. But most importantly, I think a lot of my future streams will be outdoors. Like I said earlier, the reason haven't really been outdoors as much is because the weather, it's been really hot out here. And I am in a part of California that gets really hot in the summer. So yes, I would absolutely love to do some outdoor streams. We're going to be doing some aquarium streams this month. On the 24th, we're going to be going to Nevada. So that should be fun. Or I'm going to be going to Nevada and I'm going to be doing an aquarium stream there. I'm going to be doing a hiking stream. Let's see what birds we can find. Let's see if we can find some coyotes, because I have found coyotes on my hike before. Let's see what wildlife we can find. We can watch how, I do how I film some of the things that I film. I have a cameraman that's gonna hopefully follow me around while I do this, because it's much harder to do it film while you're holding your phone. Like I said yesterday on YouTube, I bought a little chest strap, so if not, that also helps. But yay! Thank you for tuning in. I can't believe we did a whole hour. I was like, maybe we're gonna end up doing like 15 minutes, but it was really fun. It was great chatting and talking birds, talking wildlife, talking nature. Until the next stream, don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and join me on TikTok, official Tony Payne. Join me on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, Tony Payne, on Twitch, Tony Payne. See you on the next live. Bye.